going on, everyone? It's Canadian Off-Road 4x4 here today, and today I'm doing you guys a little video of one of my most recent mods that I've done to the truck, which is upgrade the battery. So what I've got under the hood now is a Group 31 Odyssey PC2150, I think it is there. We'll double check when we pop the hood there. I had to get a bigger battery to start off simple here, is simply because I'm running a winch soon, and given that all the accessories I have, and not just talking lights, because I mean these don't draw a lot of power anyways, but simply because of all the camping I do, or you know, the coolers I run and all those little accessories that I run with it when I'm trailing, camping, all that, need a good battery to hold up a little bit of extra juice and also give a little bit more to it, but also that I can run without running my truck, so spending, saving a little bit of money on the fuel there, but also just running the truck constantly, because obviously overnight I don't want to be running the truck if I'm camping out somewhere and I want to keep my coolers cool, or plug something in, whatever it may be, right? So I'm gonna pop the hood here and show you guys exactly what's going on underneath the hood and give you some pointers and talk about the different sizes of batteries for you and what maybe suits best for you. All right, so got my Timmies now, so now we can get right to talking about business. So what you see is what you get. This is the factoryness of the battery. It's just two threaded Allen key bolts. They are snug, so don't expect them to come out easily if you want them to. I just ran with them, so I'm running eyelets / ring terminals on it. Another thing that you see here is the bigger, thicker wire here. Completely eliminated the factory ground, and now I am running a 4-gauge wire from here to the factory ground here, simply because it's a very common thing to do in the car audio business, but also just a simple wire upgrade. It's called the Big 3 wire upgrade. You're supposed to do all 3, but I mean we did 2, so Big 2, I guess you can say. So you upgrade that wire, and then you come over here. Here's my alternator wire here, and this is a 0-gauge wire running down right to the factory alternator. When I had the warranty done on the alternator, simply because I accidentally froze it when it was getting warmer out, but also freezing over at night. So, and I splashed a puddle, and all of a sudden, suddenly my alternator was freezing up. Oops, I guess. But I had the factory wire tucked in there. It's not completely eliminated, simply because I think it's tied in with all the factory wiring down here and stuff. So, didn't want to mess around with that too much. So I got my tech to just tuck it away there, so it's out of the way, and there's no issues there. So 0-gauge wire, 4-gauge wire. You can run 0-gauge if you want, but I think it's a little too bulky. Also maybe a little bit harder to flex, considering you only have to go like 4 inches, right? So, but you do what you want. Either one's fine. There is a big difference for the voltage and holding it. I did it simply because when on my factory battery with my subwoofers, it was mainly for this, but also just, like I said, a good wire upgrade. I noticed my voltage dropped so much and it would cut my amp off every time. So I upgraded this, and right after that, I never had any issues. So that's something to keep in mind there if you want to do that. 2 simple upgrades there, the 2 wires there. This battery weighs 86 pounds roughly. It's a heavy battery, guys, very heavy. You got my buddy Kale, Snowball, yeah, he couldn't really lift it in there too much. Sorry, I'm calling you out here, but it's quite funny watching him to put it in there, so it doesn't work out too well. But as you see how it fits there, it actually fits in really nice. It is kind of close to the engine oil there, but as long as you have it in place, you shouldn't have an issue. But if this falls off, not a big deal. It's just held in by 2 screws anyways. How I have this supported is with a do-it-yourself bracket kind of thing. It's just a piece of 3/16 steel with some tabs welded on each side here. You can see here and there. I'll post up some pictures so you guys can see how the progress was. And I painted it green just because I thought green would look cool. It's held in with a 1 self-tapper screw. I was going for 3, but the holes didn't line up for some reason, so I went with 1, and it holds it in place just fine. Tie down with a rogue tie down and J hooks here, just the same ones I've been using for the last few years now, so there's no issues there. I would definitely recommend you guys running some sort of support here, or steel, or just anything that will basically match up to the size of this battery, simply because of how much it overhangs. So because like this is where the base pretty much finishes, and then you've got this much. You've got like, you know, 4 or 5 inches, maybe 6 inches of extra slack going off into the edge there. So I definitely can't stress it enough for you guys to want to run some sort of brace just to be safer and also keep the balance of it, because obviously with all that weight going like this, I mean, you're just putting so much more pressure down on the edges there, and also just, it's, you know, making it top heavy, I guess, in a sense. So I would recommend some sort of brace underneath it just for the Group 27 or 31, but you can indeed run them factory. It's just, I don't know exactly what happened. You can find out for yourself. That's not my discussion, but I said to myself, for this, I'm gonna put some sort of steel under it just to support it in some way. This thing's got weight to it. And if you guys want to compare it to the Group 27, which both are equal, except for the specs for some reason, and a little bit of the price, it's about a ½ inch difference in length and height. Not very much, not enough for you to really care. That's why I went Group 31 over 27, and simply because the pricing wasn't that much different for me at the time. I'll post up both specs here. I'm gonna have one on the left and one on the right, and you'll see exactly what the difference is between the two, and you're gonna be like, well, why wouldn't I go with that, right? That's pretty much how I looked at it. But if you don't want to deal with anything of that, you don't want to, you know, you just want a good AGM upgrade, well, then look at the Group 24 or Group 34 batteries. Those will do you just fine. There isn't a lot of power out of them, you know, as much I should say. I think you get about, you know, 900-ish, I think is roughly what they come out to on those ones. So, I mean, it just depends on the brand you go. There's a lot of AGM brands out there. And as for brands, I would go nothing more than North Star or AGM or Odyssey. And the reason why you see Odyssey in here, not North Star like I wanted originally, simply because North Star has bought out Odyssey here, or Odyssey bought out North Star, I meant. Sorry. I'm not too sure how long it's been like this. At least when I was checking for North Star that I was going to originally get, I got told that Odyssey bought out North Star, and they are the exact same specs, they're exact same sizes, like they're practically the same battery. But I mean, people will disagree and agree on everything like usual. So, but no issues. 4-year warranty with this big battery too. So if I got issues, I got issues, whatever. But I can't stress enough that you go with one of those two brands for sure. So I'd stay away from the yellow tops and red tops and all that. But I mean, some people have had good luck with them. Most people won't because of the manufacturer that they're with, which is Mexico now. So, and they've just turned up, just bad product. Just bad product. There's no other, I couldn't think of anything else but a swear word there, but I'm trying to keep it PG-13 for some of you out there because I know a lot of kids probably watch this. But yeah, for the bigger heavy batteries, you can run stock. But just like I said, keep an eye on it, or have it really snug down, or buy a battery cage, whatever for it, right? So my little upgrade that I've done recently, because man, I love this thing. What the heck are you? Oh, that's a big one. Guys, look at this. Oh, whoa, you little hopper. Woohoo! Look at him go. Come on. Jump. Ah, look at you go. Yeah, things catch my eyes, guys. I don't know what it was. I thought he was gonna bite my butt or something. So, but that's the gist of it there. So I'm just gonna get inside the cab here because it's getting a little more windy than I wanted to. So let's finish this video up in the cab, and I'm gonna finish my Timmy's. Yeah, do not recommend running it factory, but I know a buddy that is running a Group 27 stock 100%. And he's had no issues yet. But the biggest thing you got to keep in mind, guys, is if you're going to run these AGMs, over the couple years running them, obviously we know these run higher voltages. When I first had this battery, I checked the voltage on it. I was putting out 17.5 volts before it hooked up, and then I checked it again, about 16.5. So she's running a lot of voltage. I would definitely look into the VF tuner from OV-Tune, simply because now you can actually put more voltage through the alternator to feed the battery. So it's perfect for guys like us that want to put a bigger battery and more voltage, because if you actually keep this over a couple years or 2 or 3 years of 13.5 volts or less, you actually are hurting the AGM batteries a little bit, because I just asked my buddy there that's running that Group 27 North Star. He's had it in there for about 2-3 years. He's actually noticing a decrease in the performance recently. It's not lasting as long, he said, for his camping trips there. So simply it's just because you're not getting the right amount of voltage. You're not running it at 100% as you should be. Sorry about that, guys. The wind just picking up a little bit more than I want to right now, but I thought I'd just kind of show you guys exactly what has happened here, like what my recent mod is, because I like to keep you guys up to date with what's going on. Because I actually have my bumper probably coming in hopefully the next week and a half, 2 weeks, because I'm possibly off-roading my Taco in 2 weeks roughly. It's gonna be quite exciting, so I'm gonna go rock crawling, and I haven't done that for probably at least a year now. So it's been a long time since I've actually done anything with this truck. So slowly getting it prepared for everything, right? So I'm ready for the winch now and this and that. This battery will probably be beautiful for the winch too, but being how big this battery is and stuff, I'm really excited for sure. So before I was running an upgraded factory Toyota battery, because my factory one actually pooched out. That was a user error. We actually wired the relays wrong, so as soon as you plugged it in, the relays turned on. So, and it was winter time, so the battery depleted and it went pooch, but we never said anything, so I got warranty out of it, whatever. I mean, those factory batteries are garbage. You can ask anyone, and I mean, anyone that's watching them, yeah, they are for sure. So, and I was running that factory upgraded battery, had like 700 cold cranking amps and this and that. It was a good battery, no issue, but I need better. So definitely would recommend the Group 31 over the 27. But if it's not in your budget, or if you find a good deal or something like that on Group 27, go for it. But like I said, I would recommend putting some sort of brace or support, or you buy the battery cages you can get. Personally, I don't see the use for it. Another thing to keep in mind too, unlike mine, I'm running the Rogue tie down, and for the longest time, my J hooks that I had, they weren't looped up. They were sitting like this. So anytime I tied down, it would slide around in this, and I was like, what the heck? And I was off-roading with the big battery to test out to see if it would hold up. Well, my battery did shift. I didn't like that very much. I showed my tech this. He took my J hooks inside and he cut them a little bit and bent them up. So, and I just went off-roading the other day, as you guys saw in the rough country video there with my buddy's Jeep. We went off-road and tested it out again. We went for a little playing around, and sure as can be, the battery isn't moving now. So I think I've got it patted down really well for how it is. It's really snug on there for sure. So, and also with those corner pieces I have welded in there from my buddy, it holds up pretty well. So I'm thinking she'll be perfectly fine like this. But like I said, there is the options out there for Group 27, Group 31 cages and brackets and stuff out there. So you guys do what you want there. But showing you my personal take on this, I've been running this battery for probably a month now, actually. And like I said, other than those one shifts I had, this battery's been perfectly fine sitting how it is. And I mean, with no sway bar on too, there's a lot more body roll, obviously. So the battery ain't moving. So I just got to keep testing it out and see if there's any more user errors with it or anything like that. But if you guys like this video, it's, like I said, it's a nice, affordable, cheap mod to do. Well, not totally cheap, but it's a mod you want to do if you're going to be, off-roading or doing a lot of camping, because this battery, I don't have to have my truck running. I can turn on all my lights, and I don't have to fear for that battery draining anytime soon, because there's a lot in this battery for sure. So starting wise as well, if anyone asks, it has started a little bit faster, I noticed. I haven't noticed it right off the bat, but I think in the winter time is when I'll see it shine more for starting, because I do know in the winter it takes a couple seconds for it to actually start. So I'll see how that performs, because obviously I'm gonna have a lot more cold cranking amps in the winter. So we'll play it by ear on how that goes. So have a good one, guys. We'll see you around.